Welcome to Talk Pro to Me, the podcast where we talk about our passion, the purpose, and the paths that led us to the professional remodeling organization, Pro. We are excited you're here. I'm Sarah Waters. I'm your host. Now let's build something great. This episode is brought to you by Signovation, where brands show up and win. Welcome. I have Travis Lerdahl with Priority Landscape. Welcome, Travis.
Thanks, Sarah. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, first podcast, right?
First one. Here we go.
It's going to be a natural. Tell us a little bit about what Priority Landscape does.
So we specialize in outdoor living spaces, landscape design, primarily a design build company for residential properties. About 10 to 15% of our work is commercial. We definitely focus on those outdoor living spaces, retaining walls, patios, lights, pretty perennial flowers, trees, shrubs, water features, fire pits, everything that kind of goes into a beautiful backyard.
I've seen your trucks all over town. Do you guys do commercial and residential?
Yeah, absolutely. About 10% is commercial. Those are usually good hot leads from our existing residential clients that are building a new commercial building or tied in with a project, and they just really want to bring us in because they feel like we make sense for the project. So,
what is the process like for a consumer that's like, hey, we want to renovate our landscaping or our backyard? What does that look like?
Yeah, a lot of times it's early March. They're kind of getting out in the backyard, cleaning up the leaves from the rough winter, and they're like, "Hey, I'm just looking to amp up my backyard space. The patio is too small. I was frustrated with it last year. These stairs didn't work right." A lot of times it's an inherited landscape or patio space. And a lot of times, unfortunately, the interior models are done and it's time to move on to the outdoor projects. So we get a lot of calls in February, March for those spring and summer projects.
How important do you think it is for people to love that space, their outdoor spaces, their backyards?
Well, I think it's extremely important. If you're going to invest tens of thousands of dollars into the space, they have to really love the design, and it has to make sense for them. We get calls a lot where it's, "Hey, I want to replace our patio," and my first question usually is, "Okay, we can replace it, but what are we doing on the patio? How are we using the space?"
Sure. How long has the business been around? How long have you had Priority?
I went self-employed when I was 19.
Wow.
And that's
20 now?
Yeah. So yeah, almost 20 years of self-employment.
Wow.
We started off as a lawn sprinkler company.
Okay.
But yeah, so summer job kind of turned into self-employment at 19, and we're doing the lawn sprinkler thing for a long time. But then we had to start adding landscape services at the beginning and the end of the year to keep our employees busy.
Sure.
And so there probably wasn't until like 2015, 16 where we really got into, like, I would say, real landscape projects, like actually patios and hardscapes and better plant design. And then in 2018, we actually sold the sprinkler division of our company. And with some of that money, we were able to buy some land and build out a shop. So we're out in 7 acres right now. So we have plenty of room for our tree nursery, our plant nursery, our shop, trucks, trailers. And so we came a long way. But yeah, that's kind of how we got into it.
Did you always know you wanted to be an entrepreneur?
No, not at all. I was actually kind of pushed. I was pushed by a cousin of mine. He was the one that wanted to go self-employed. We actually started the business together, which only lasted about 3 months. And then his wife at the time got pregnant. And he's like, "Hey, I can't be a part of a startup with a new baby coming."
Sure.
That kind of thing. So we kind of pivoted and we utilized those connections. So yeah, being kind of forced into that position was something that just kind of happened naturally. I would imagine a lot of entrepreneurs are kind of the same way. Things just naturally progress, especially when you're starting at such a young age.
Yeah. You've grown to where you said you have staff, you have a building and a space. What did you have to learn in order to scale the business to that level?
It's been a learning curve from the start. So you learn how to manage employees. You learn what services are good to offer for that size of business. You learn what the clients are looking for, how to communicate with them, how to achieve their goals within their budgets. We're just kind of been winging it for a lot of years and trying to stay resilient on the tough years. But yeah, it's been a ton of fun.
What is one of the pivotal moments that you knew, I have to change or I have to grow in this area in order to continue to be successful?
That's an easy one. I think I was probably self-employed for 4 years, maybe 5 years. So I was like mid-20s. I remember just like looking around and thinking, well, I haven't been in college for 4 years. I don't possess any other skills. And I have this business, so I better start taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And for the first number of years, you're just kind of having fun. And as long as you have enough money to to pay your rent,
Sure.
you're fine. But then you kind of wake up one day and you're like, shoot, I'm probably unemployable at this point in my life, given yourself directions for so long. Yeah, I had no choice but to just start taking it seriously. And yeah, haven't really looked back.
That's awesome. How many employees do you have?
I think right now we're sitting around 9.
What's been the hardest part of managing people?
Just trying to keep everybody communicating efficiently. We have a bunch of great employees right now. We've never had a better team. So it's
Awesome.
been a lot easier the last few years, but it's taken a while to develop those key employees. But the nice part is once you get 2 or 3 of these key employees, they kind of help you recruit the next batch of key employees. So
Right.
we have a really tight knit team right now.
What kind of leader are you? Like, how would you describe yourself leading your team?
I'm too laid back.
I could see that about you.
A lot of times the guys will say, "Hey, Trav, you got to get on us a little harder." And my attitude is very much like a big picture kind of attitude. If something doesn't go right that morning, that's okay. If it's a 1 hour problem, hey, we got a whole week to rectify.
Sure.
If we didn't have a good week, hey, we got a whole spring ahead of us here. Let's keep it focused. A guy bumps into a building with a skid loader during winter snow operations, and he was so sad and upset. And I was like, I'll tell you what, if that's the worst thing that happens this month or this year, great. We've all been there. We all make mistakes, but it's how we move forward.
You have very positive energy about you.
Yeah,
Are you
unfortunately.
what's a bad day like for Travis? Is there a bad day? Is there anything that's really makes you angry where they're going to see you upset?
Yeah, like we get emotionally tied up into our designs.
Sure.
So, there's projects that we spend a lot of time with these clients putting together a beautiful plan, a beautiful budget, and I feel like it really makes sense for them at that point in their life. And sometimes there's things that are out of our control and we don't get a project. And it's rare we really lose one to a competitor.
Sure.
Sometimes it's, hey, we're gonna wait until next year or we're gonna phase this out. And that kind of hurts me a little bit. It's like, oh gosh, like let's plant that tree now. Let's get the patio
Yeah.
now. Because I just know how many memories are going to be made that summer. I mean, we can all recall those summer nights around a
Sure.
fire pit, hanging out with our friends and family, doing s'mores or having a beer or doing cooking out. We remember those times. What we don't remember is watching a movie.
Right.
We might get 4 to 6 great summer nights or fall nights where we just are really spending time with the people we love. And if what we do can squeeze out a couple extra hours with those people, our projects can help them get to that point. Like, man, our year's made.
Yeah.
We get texts every once in a while from clients like late at night and they're sending a picture of them hanging out in their patio.
Very
They're
cool.
like, those are the ones that, that's why we do it.
So it's more than just landscaping for you. You're literally helping them build a story and a lifetime together in their spaces.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of grown into that for sure.
Yeah.
The last 3 or 4 years, now that I have a few children of my own, and I'm just spending the time with our families and watching my parents get a little bit older. I'm enjoying spending that time with my family, so I can really see firsthand what it's like for our clients.
Is that what sets you apart from other landscaping companies? Why work with you?
Yeah, I think yeah, definitely having that attitude going in really helps. For sure. We've been very intentional about the size of our company so we can provide extremely high quality service. I would rather be booking out 3 months in advance, 6 months in advance, and worried about what we're doing in 2 weeks. I feel like the more we grow, the less personal ties I'll have to the projects. And I love being on site with the homeowners. I love meeting the guys on site. I just like walking around, kind of taking one last before picture, and then you just know in a week it's going to be just beautiful. And then it's really fun to drive by 2, 3 years later and watch the projects really grow.
You seem to have a passion for landscapes. Is this natural or were you hugging trees and just thought, I'm going
Gosh,
to make this into a career?
I think inherently we've always loved the outdoors.
Yeah.
Just kind of growing up hunting and fishing with my dad, my
Sure.
brothers. We're always outside climbing trees growing up, like most kids. Yeah, it's definitely been something I never thought I'd be so passionate about. And it's really grown in the last like half decade for sure. And every project's so uniquely different. Every site's different. Sure, we can plant the same maple tree or the same dianthus here and there, but the goals are different. Almost every single project. The clients are different. The sites are different. And so I always say we've never done the same project twice. And so that's what keeps us motivated. Our designs take us 90% of the way there. And then I kind of leave that little extra 10% for the crew on site to really just kind of massage it as needed.
Wow.
And like I said, we got a bunch of skilled guys and they've been doing this a while. We've basically had the same crew for the last 4 years or so.
Wow.
And so they really know what they're doing, and they really like just putting their own personal touch on things. And the clients appreciate that. So that's the most important part.
Do you think that there is a misconception? Because I know in remodeling a lot, the reality of what budget looks like and then actually sitting down and what they want and need. Is there that same misconception in the renovation on the outside exteriors? Do you think consumers are misinformed on what that entails financially?
That's a good question. All of our initial consults, we kind of hear them out on about what they're looking to do. But we've done enough of these where I can usually put you within a good range. Like, hey, this is a $50,000 to $70,000 project, just based on a lot of ones that we've done, or this is a $10,000 to $20,000 project. And then usually right there, you can kind of get the client really understands like the
Sure.
scale. I think our consumers are fairly informed. We're typically not the first home
Sure.
project they've worked with. So they've purchased that new kitchen, they've redone the basement, they've hired other contractors in the past. So when I tell them, hey, we're gonna have 5, 6 guys here with $250,000 in equipment showing up for a week, they kind of get it. Usually it's surprising how fast we get it done. That's kind of what because we did a $40,000 little backyard and we're in and out in a week, where that $40,000 kitchen took them 2 months.
Yeah.
But we have a lot more guys. We can get a lot more guys on site than a kitchen remodeler.
You said over 20 years in the industry, you have a lot of projects. Do you have any that stand out as being a favorite?
We have a lot of projects that we really love. We just completed one in the last year or so over in the sanctuary. That was a lot of fun. It was the most challenging project we've ever had, given the site conditions, the elevations, just the general scale. There was a lot of moving parts, and it was a very difficult project. And I'm really proud of the way it turned out.
I mean, you mentioned challenge and being in the industry, being an entrepreneur is not always easy. What has been one of the biggest challenges you faced as a business owner?
Anytime we're going through employee transitions is always a difficult time. It doesn't happen very often because we have a really good employee retainage, but to get
Mhm.
them up to speed where the previous employee was or where we like them to be, it takes a team and usually a little bit more personal time of mine to ensure that things go well. But yeah, I think employee transitions are probably our biggest challenge.
Sure. It is a struggle. It's hard, right? To get people to know all the things you need and have patience and all. So I totally get it. On the flip side, what has been some of the most rewarding aspects of owning your own business?
Like most entrepreneurs or business owners will say, it's just like kind of the freedom to make your own schedule, whatever that means. We're never clocked out, but I love picking up my son from first grade now. I love being able to take my daughter to the job site. I love being able to take off a half a day and take just a little day date with the wife here and there, grab a quick
Mhm.
lunch. Just the flexibility is one of the reasons I do this.
Yeah.
But inherently, the projects are really rewarding. Just being able to watch those landscapes grow up, and it kind of as I guess I grow as an entrepreneur and a business owner, it's really fun watching our employees grow and just kind of seeing that next generation come up. And it's so much fun to watch. So we really try to make sure we're providing a good place for them
Sure.
to grow. So we want to make sure they're compensated appropriately. We want them to live a really good life.
That's awesome. Do you hope that your children someday take over the business?
Ooh, that's a tough one, right? It's
Yeah.
yeah, like any parent, I guess you just want them to love what
Yeah.
they do. And yeah, if this business is an avenue that they want to pursue, great. There's a lot of micro businesses within our business that they could pursue. Like I said, we have like a tree farm, and so we're kind of starting that a little bit already. Like on our property, we have a pumpkin patch for my son.
Oh, cool.
So he grows his own pumpkins and he buys his own seeds and he pulls weeds all summer and he has to work all summer. And at the very end of the year, we get to sell some pumpkins.
Already got an entrepreneurial spirit, sounds like.
But yeah, we have a little Christmas tree farm for our daughter. We're kind of starting up there too.
Oh,
So
cool.
the idea is just to get him out
Hmm.
and get him doing something.
Yeah. And I love that it involves being outdoors too and kind of getting them back out off phones, all the things.
Yeah, we're blessed to have a little bit of space to do these things. So we're trying to maximize that.
So in pro, I think a lot of where the growth comes from is mentorship, working with partners, collaborating. Have you had a mentor in your life that's kind of guide and led you?
I think as you go through different phases of your career, there's definitely people that were around early on that I looked up to and we spent some time with. Right now, I have a lot of peers. So just spending time with those people, we try to learn off of each other.
Yeah.
That's what kind of pro is all about, right? Is
Yeah.
connecting with like-minded individuals in similar businesses or similar contracting businesses. So we learn a lot from the people in this group, and it's been a lot of fun being a part of this group for the few years. And and the relationships we've built have been priceless. For
Absolutely.
sure.
You guys have been very active in the brand, good supporters. We appreciate in a short time, you guys got pretty involved. How important do you think it is for businesses, especially startups, to network and kind of get their name out there in places like Pro?
Yeah, I think it's extremely important for two reasons, really. One, yeah, you're able to network with like-minded people, so you learn a lot on the business side. But then at the end of the day, just having the comfort to be able to pass a referral to another trusted
Yeah.
partner goes a long way.
Mhm.
So just being able to be referral partners and to have those trusted businesses in your pocket, it's great.
Absolutely. And trust is really important for a consumer, right? What do they need to know that they're using a reputable landscaping company like yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, a good referral is always a good way to go. We were a young contractor at one time, and I really appreciate all the trust people put in me. So I will never steer somebody away from a startup company.
That's awesome. What goals do you have for yourself professionally, personally? What does 2026 look like for you?
Yeah, this year is just, I don't want to say rinse and repeat, but we've had a really good 2024, 2025. Every year I try to keep like only about 10% of our projects extremely challenging projects, things that are pushing our skill sets. That way, if things go wrong, we're still in business. So we don't want to take on more than we can chew. We got a great team. So yeah, we're just stacking projects and just trying to make a bunch of backyards look pretty.
It sounds like quality over quantity, kind of you're saying, is really important. When people are out pricing, how important is it for them to understand bid differences or quality in terms of cost?
It's all over the board, especially in our business,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So we're dealing with, we have two completely different designs that
Yeah.
achieve the same goals. So I feel like that's where we kind of have a nice advantage over some of our competitors. Is I feel like we're really good at value engineering these plans. So if we're working with like a $50,000 budget, I'm not afraid to put in a concrete patio or maybe we'll incorporate some concrete instead of pavers. Like we're not afraid to bring in subcontractors as it makes sense to keep the budgets in line. All of our proposals, we line item everything. So we just don't have one lump sum for this design. That way it really keeps things nice and clear as we're working through the decisions of what are we going to add, what are we going to take away. And then I think it helps the clients compare if we're bidding against somebody else. So I think transparency is huge.
You seem like you really do want to connect with everyone that kind of comes in contact with you.
Mhm.
You build a lot of positive relationships. You're very positive. What do you want people to say about you when you leave a room or they introduce you? What do you want people to remember you for?
Geez, that's a tough question.
Kind of deep.
Yeah, it is. Holy cow. We just want everybody to have a good experience with us. And I want to have everybody have a good experience with myself. Hopefully, I can bring value to somebody's day. Hopefully, I can bring value to somebody's project. As I get older here, my kids get older, I'm just trying to be really intentional with our time.
Sure.
I don't spend any time doing things I really don't want to do. If there's things I don't want to do, like payables, we outsource that. Like if there's something I just don't want to do, I'm not going to give a good solid 90 to 100% effort on. I'm trying to delegate that out or just not do it.
Really key. Yeah, I agree. What's one fun fact about you we wouldn't know?
Yeah. So I'm an ordained minister. We have a low divorce rate. If I marry you, I think the divorce rates might only be 15%. So
wait, how long in are we on this?
I think the first wedding I did might have been 15 years ago.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Travis, you're going to be doing a project on tour April 25th and 26th. Tell us a little bit about that project.
Yeah, so this project's a big one and very in depth. There's a lot of scale is up there. So it's a beautiful paver pool deck,
Yeah.
big pool, big pergola, big deck, big landscape, big walls. Everything's big on this site. And so lots of elevation changes, lots of hardscape. Kind of got this little bungalow thing or grotto kind of thing we
Very
kind of
cool.
installed. It's kind of tucked it in just below like the water slide that goes into the pool. And so there's a lot of challenges that came with it, not with just the elevation, but with being kind of close to a road.
Sure.
So we had about 25 feet to make this massive backyard go away. And I think we did a pretty good job. It's definitely in a couple of years, you won't be able to tell there's a pool back here.
Wow.
You can probably peek through a couple of trees now and see it. But yeah, it's a beautiful space tucked up in the oaky bluffs, I call them. It's a bunch of beautiful old bur oaks on this property. And that's one of my favorite parts is just these old bur oak trees. Yeah, it's basically everything we do all on one site.
I was going to say consumers will have the opportunity to walk through. It's free to the public. And looks like they're going to have so many different avenues that they could take their own backyard in one spot and kind of see what direction suits them.
Yeah, bring a camera. There's a lot of ideas for sure. Yeah, so we had a lot of fun developing this project. It took about a year to
Wow.
complete. Just going through the different phases of it was a new construction build from the start. So, or the home was new construction, then we kind of came in, and
Yeah.
I'm excited to have everybody back there. So,
And they'll have the opportunity to connect with you and Lane from Precision Enterprises.
Yep.
You partnered on that project. What can consumers expect when they walk through and get to connect with you?
yeah, we're just there to answer questions.
Sure.
I just want everybody to kind of just take it all in and know that not all of the projects we do have to be this in depth, but this is a great one to see a lot of the different things that
Yeah.
we do. So yeah, so that's kind of, and it's the location's great in the
Yeah.
sanctuary, so it's really easy to get in and out.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's just it's gonna be a beautiful space, or it is a beautiful space, and excited to kind of show it off.
Awesome. Well, Travis, it's been fantastic having you
Yeah.
on today. Be sure to join us on Saturday, April 25th and Sunday, April 26th, noon to 4:30, walk through projects, and we will see you then. This episode is brought to you by Sinovation, where brands show up and win.